Well, hello, and welcome to the Zoom meeting. Is exactly how I start every Zoom meeting, unapologetically. I test my range of motion in the shot here. How is my new apartment? You may be wondering. First of all, it's awesome. Been living in my new apartment for about a month. If I had to tell the story of living in my apartment, it would be in 3 acts. Act 1, boxes. Act 2, creatures. Act 3, bounty. Not like bounty hunters, but like harvest, fall harvest, adventure type bounty. Alright, so Act 1, boxes. I have so many boxes. All the boxes. Too many boxes. I decided to move in March of 2020. Like, right before everything shut down. I told myself, I'm going to move. For one reason or another, things got mightily delayed. Oh my goodness, I just noticed how many ants there are right where I'm sitting. Okay, they're not directly underneath me, so I think we can proceed. As I was saying, my actual moving date became mightily delayed. One of the reasons being that I have way too much stuff, and I have too much stuff to move easily. After a lot of hustle and bustle, here I am in Boxland. I don't know what else to say. I have too much stuff, and there are a lot of boxes. I took about 5 boxes for each trip. I don't even want to do the math. I was doing this in August, and it was very hot. Not really the weather that I prefer to be moving heavy boxes in, but it got done. Hello! It's 9:30. I definitely hit a wall about half an hour ago because I realized I didn't have any ice cream. I have most of the clothes put away, but I'm really tired, so I think I'm gonna put myself to bed. I've spent basically the entire month of September unpacking said boxes and rearranging things, and I'm still not done unpacking. Here's a view from the window. I'm very close to being done unpacking, but it still needs a little work. I'll get there. Act 2, creatures. Okay, so long story short, Seattle has a lot of rats, and the previous tenants who were staying in my apartment had chickens, and the rats subsequently were attracted to the leftover chicken food when they left out. There's a lot of them. Squeak! The plus side to having rats, hot take, I know, but the plus side to having rats is that one morning I went out into the yard to water some tomatoes, and this hawk was just sitting in the yard snatching up some rats. I didn't see it snatch the rats, but I assume that's what it was doing because there were rats like scurrying around. I have to say, having a hawk, like living in the city and having a hawk in your backyard, 10 out of 10. Amazing. I'll take it. My other creature feature is that because I moved into a basement apartment, there are a lot of ants. The person who was in the room that I'm in now left a few things spilled on the carpet. which attracted the ants. And ants and I aren't really friends. I'm fine with bees and wasps because we have an understanding. I'm fine with spiders because they eat the bugs that I don't like. And ants just don't respect my boundaries and they upset me. I'm starting to become more okay with them because they're everywhere and I think that I can't fight it anymore, but they're really not my favorite creatures. And I feel bad about that. I want to like them, but I just don't. These particular ants took it upon themselves to crawl underneath the pillow where I was sleeping, and I was really not a fan of that. However, I cleaned the carpet, I sprayed a lot of spray things, I don't eat food in my room now, so I pretty heavily discouraged ants from being my roommates. They still are there, they just like hanging out for some reason. Maybe there's some other stuff from the previous tenant that I didn't find or didn't clean up, but they're just there for now. Rats, a hawk, and some ants. Those are the creatures. Why, hello. Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Bounty. I love September. September is amazing. There are things to harvest in the garden. Big disclaimer, almost all of the things that I have pictured in this video were not things that I grew. They were things that someone else grew, and also beautiful, amazing things that I found in our local community garden that were open to share for everyone. There's a lot of pea patches in Seattle, which are places where people can either claim or pay a fee on a specific garden plot so that they can use that and grow their own food. But the stuff that I'm talking about is specifically a community garden that's for everyone to pick. So don't go around just picking stuff that you find in random gardens. But if there's a garden you know that is open to sharing, then, and there's explicit rules and signs that say that you can do that, go for it. I can say that I grew this sunflower and some other flowers and veggies that did not quite turn out very well at all with my extremely limited gardening knowledge, but that is not what this video is about. Technically, I moved to a new neighborhood. However, it is right next to a neighborhood that I lived in for 4 years during college, and so it's just a bit south of that neighborhood. So it kind of feels like I'm returning to this awesome place that I spent 4 years in, but it's also just different enough that it feels like I can explore and it's a new place. So it's like I'm looking at the same painting but from a different angle or different perspective, and I'm getting to see whole new parts of the city that I didn't see before. Also have been biking around a lot, having some good adventures, finding lots of plums. My neighbors have 4 or 5 plum trees that no one was harvesting from, and they let me pick plums from their trees, which was super nice. And so I just had so many plums and so many good delicious things to harvest and eat. Lots of tomatoes, figs, it's just been a grand old time. I love September. There's lots of things to pick. It's like the beginning of fall. It's sort of still summer, but then it becomes fall. I've just had a great time adventuring around. There was a point where it was super smoky and I had to stay home because of how nasty it was, and couldn't go outside as much as I would have liked during that time, especially when I have to be like staying away from people and not necessarily doing things indoors. It's been really nice to like go for a lot of walks around my new neighborhood and go biking around the new neighborhood. In general, kind of having a little mini adventure. exploring side streets that I've never been down before. It feels like a whole new city. It's pretty great. I think I'm done at this point. Oh, is this the part where I do an outro? Well, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening to my story about how the first month of living in my apartment has gone. I've really enjoyed it. It hasn't all been daisies and rainbows, obviously. It's not how life works. There's highs and lows, but these are definitely my choice highlights that I want to share. Like I said before, I live in a basement apartment, and there was this point where a guy was creeping outside my window, but that's a story for another day. I hope you have a beautiful day. I hope you take care of yourself and stay safe. Bye. For now, I hope you have a beautiful day. What was that? I hope you have a beautiful day. I think it's someone's bike brakes.